This was my first ever day in Ukraine. In this video, we'll get a glimpse of what it's like to visit the city of Lviv during wartime. We'll explore the local market, discover an inspiring business that stayed open throughout the war, and even catch a ballet performance. But first, I had to get to my hotel in the Old Town, and the main train station that I arrived to is a little bit outside of town. There are a few different ways to get from the train station to central Lviv, but since both my wife and I always enjoy a good tram ride, we decided to hop on board. In Lviv, you could just tap your credit card to pay, so it seemed easy enough. But soon enough, we were on our way and there was some pretty nice scenery out the window. But as is common in many European countries, a ticket checker came on board to check everybody's tickets. When she came by to check our tickets though, there seemed to be an issue. For a minute, I was fully convinced that we must have failed to validate our ticket or something. But as it turned out, when you tap your card to pay for a ticket in Lviv, it gives you the option to pay for more than one person. Except +1 actually means you're already paying for 2 people, so we had actually paid for an extra person. Crisis averted, but I guess I did lose a few cents. As our journey kept up, we passed lively streets, marshrutkas, and I happened to notice that some of the labels in the tram were actually in the German language. But it's really just not that long of a ride to the city center, and soon enough we'd made it there. We were about an hour before the official hotel check-in time, but luckily they let us check in anyway. Hello.
Hi.
During my time here in Lviv, I'm staying at the Best Western, right in the middle of the city. And there are a few reasons why I chose this hotel. I mean, first off, it just looked like a nice place to stay. It's well reviewed and all that kind of stuff. But when visiting during the war, it is important to be staying at a place that has a bomb shelter, and bigger hotels like this one generally do have a bomb shelter. So since the Best Western has one of those, and yeah, it just looked like a comfortable place to stay. Plus, I'd only be staying for 2 nights. I thought I'd just stay here, and it looks very solid in the room. It's not like a big room or anything, but it's the kind of place that has everything you need. The tile in the bathroom is actually really pretty. It's very shiny here. And then, yeah, other than that, it's not like heavy on amenities or anything, but there's some space here, a closet, some of those. And that's really about it. The most important thing is that I'm like right next to the market square, perfectly located to get out and explore the city. Oh yeah, and I nearly forgot to mention the price here. It's definitely not the cheapest place in Lviv, not by a long shot. I ended up paying around $90 US a night, but that's just because it was booked last night. If I'd booked it a few days before, it would have been more like 70 or perhaps even a bit less. There's also a restaurant in this hotel, by the way. Usually I don't go for the hotel restaurants just because even if they're good, they're often quite pricey. And there's a lot of other restaurants around here, but the hotel in general is just really pretty. I'm liking this place quite a lot, actually. And just stepping out of the hotel, you're right at the edge of the central square of Lviv, the Reno. Currently, things such as statues and stained glass are covered up to help prevent any damage during attacks. But in this western part of Ukraine, I was told that air raid alerts are pretty infrequent, and throughout the course of the war, there haven't been too many attacks on this part of Ukraine. And by the way, this street that I'm walking down is Virmanska, or Armenian Street. And right here, in the old historic center, there's a marketplace.
О, диви, яка вона вже стала бодренька. Та тихо, хто би сумнівався.
There are all kinds of traditional Ukrainian things here, including a very useful type of toilet paper. And one really cool thing that you can buy here in Ukraine is a driver's license. You get to choose who you want to be. And I can't say for certain if this is what you always find at the market, but here, right now today, there are really a lot of textile goods for sale. Seems to be mostly cotton or linen, or a combination of cotton and linen. You can definitely see, depending on the seller, and even sometimes with the same seller, the quality differs quite a lot, but there's some pretty cool looking stuff here. Are you working in the market, or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah? What do you sell?
I also sell embroidery.
Dobra.
Добре.
What is your name? Sorry.
My name is Ruslana.
David. Nice to meet you.
Okay, nice.
Ruslana is a very nice name.
Thanks, fine.
What is the best thing in Ukraine that you should buy when you visit Ukraine?
Slowly?
The best thing to buy in the market in Ukraine?
Best, I think maybe blouse.
Which one?
Blouse.
Blouse.
Blouse
Okay.
for men, for women.
From cotton, from linen?
Cotton and
That kind of
linen,
stuff.
yeah. For example, sometimes 50% cotton, 50% linen, and very popular towel on the when
Yeah.
people wedding put on the in church.
Like this kind of stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No. This is
I know.
a towel. Towel.
Ah.
When you two people married, go to the church and put and stand.
Okay.
And this is runner put on the table.
Ah.
But for example, this is for Easter time.
Okay.
This is for Easter time.
Yeah.
Put this is napkins. Yeah. This is for Easter time. When
Yeah.
you go to the church, put on the Easter basket.
Okay. Easter is 2 weeks? Coming.
January, February, March, April.
April.
Today, 20 in this year, 20 of April, Easter time.
Your first language Ukrainian? or-
Yeah, I'm born in Lviv and I speak Ukrainian, Russian, Polish,
In English?
and English.
Wow.
English not so
Ah.
good, but
It's good. But why do you learn so many languages?
because I'm smart woman.
But you didn't live in another country? I mean, of course you're a smart woman, it's clear.
Тому що я мудра жінка.
I agree.
Joking.
If you're speaking 4 languages, I agree. But you learn every language in Ukraine?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
but I speak English not very good.
You said that, not me. I think you speak English good though.
No. So.
And
I
you
speak very good Polish. Sometimes people from Polish ask me, you born in Polish?
okay.
But speak good Russian. But in this moment, for example, from Georgia, all people speak Russian, but in this moment don't want to speak Russian.
Yeah.
And this is napkins put on the table
Yeah.
and plate here.
Cool. Okay. Today, no. Later, maybe. Okay?
You promise?
Okay. Yeah, I promise maybe.
Okay.
Дякую.
Okay, see you.
Okay, bye.
Bye, have a nice day.
You too. So, as I usually do to prepare for basically any trip I take, I got in touch with a few locals and asked them what they thought I should do when I visited Lviv. There were a lot of different answers, but one was an answer that everybody gave, and that was this opera house. And by the way, they are running their normal season here, from what I can tell. This is the March calendar. But for the days I'm here, it looks like there's just the ballet. So I'll start here. It looks like they might be having some kind of private event in the opera house though right now. A little bit unclear, but there's the casa, the place where you buy tickets. Are there tickets left for the ballet tonight?
For tonight,
Yeah.
Ballet?
Yeah, how much is that?
I have ticket list
Up here, okay.
from 150 to 1,950.
Oh, okay. $4 up to like $20 something. Okay, 3 people ballet.
How much it's possible ticket?
Like maybe 1,000 for 3 tickets, something like that?
3 tickets together?
Yeah.
It's possible this 6 row in the
Okay,
floor cost
yeah.
750.
Okay.
It's good.
Good seats? Okay. Okay, we'll take those seats.
Today start 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Okay.
It's possible go before 40 minutes. It's over.
From 4,
For 5:20 it's over.
5:20. Дякую.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Bye. So, you can visit, but it turns out the ballet they have seemed pretty interesting. It's based on a 1965 Ukrainian novel, but I happen to have a few hours before the ballet actually starts. And when the war here first broke out, I had turned on the news one day, and all over the news was a special cat cafe in Lviv that had just refused to close its doors at all. And it was just down the street from the Opera House. So, let's see what the Lviv Cat Cafe is like. A visit is pretty straightforward. You just grab your preferred table, and you can either come to the cats or wait a few minutes until they come to you. There are dozens of different kinds of cats with dozens of different kinds of personalities. They even got Maine Coons here. And they do really have coffee. They're really a cafe. Pretty fun place. And they've got a full menu too, and the food was pretty good. Here you can get up close and personal with the cats. But you don't really have a choice, so do keep that in mind if you ever make your way over here. And it's really a huge place, but a very impressive project they have over here. and they've managed to just keep it open for over 3 years of war, also providing a refuge for a bunch of local cats. By the way, their menu is incredibly affordable and there's no special fee to enter or anything like that. But if you won't be in Lviv anytime soon and still want to help the Cat Cafe out, they do accept donations, and I'll drop their business link in the description of this video. So a Cat Cafe is definitely not my typical stop while traveling, but a beautiful sign of Ukrainian resilience. And they have nice cats and good coffee and food, so check it out. After my Cat Cafe visit, it was time to head back to the Opera House. And it is ballet time. And you can see here, it is a very ornate ballet/opera hall. Really cool place. Obviously you can't film performances, but just the more reason for you to come here and visit yourself. And I managed to get it wrong earlier. It's not based on a book, but rather a Ukrainian film from 1965. The Shadows of Forgotten Ancestors. And not long after I got to my seat, the pre-ballet announcements started, including instructions on how to get to shelter in case of an air raid.
If the air raid alert continues for less than an hour, we will continue the performance.
Shortly after, the Ukrainian national anthem was played by the orchestra. Although the words of the anthem were not being sung at this event, it's a piece of music that goes very deeply into Ukrainian identity, and I can only imagine the very deep meaning for all of those around me at the ballet. Here's a translation of what the words would be in English. The ballet ended up being a little over 2 hours long, and I made a point of checking out the front hall during the intermission. Woo! The ballet's pretty serious over here in Ukraine. That's gotta be the best ballet I've ever seen. I couldn't even imagine a better thing to do on my first day over here in the city of Lviv. But lucky for me, I've got a few more days. So I had a nice little walk around and enjoyed listening to some talented street musicians, but I was in need of some Ukrainian borscht, and I had been told that the restaurant Veronica was very good. The decor at Veronica restaurant is also really cool. But after some really good pickled things and some amazing Ukrainian borscht, it was nearly time for curfew and the restaurant seemed to empty out pretty quick. After my first day in Lviv, I was really looking forward to what the next day would bring. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to share it with other people and give it a like. And make sure you are subscribed with alerts on to know when that next Lviv video hits. Thanks so much for watching, and Slava Ukraini!